What's going on, guys? So tomorrow is finally the day. Marvel's Avengers Infinity War is here. The freaking decade in the making event is finally going to happen. And I'm here to hit you with the video of who I think is going to die in Marvel's Avengers Infinity War. A lot of you guys wanted me to make this video, so I decided why not do it the day before the movie comes out. And I will let you know right now, I am not going to read any of the comments on this video until after I watched the movie, because I'm trying to avoid spoilers. I know there's reviews and stuff coming out already, you know, a couple days before, because the embargo and everything has been removed for this movie, and I'm just trying to avoid spoilers. I've been waiting forever for this, so I will not be reading comments. I already deleted my Twitter and shit, so I don't have to see stuff on there. So yeah, but let's go ahead and jump right into this. So I'm going to be talking about all the characters that I think are going to die in this movie, and the easiest way to start off this video is to talk about who I think is going to live, because it's easy to eliminate some of these people immediately. So for starters, I want to list the people that I think are going to live 100% in this movie, and that is going to be Spider-Man, Black Panther, Star-Lord, Groot, Rocket, Bucky, Doctor Strange, Ant-Man, Gamora, and Stan Lee. Those are the people that I think are going to 100% live in this movie. And the reason why I say that is because, well, Spider-Man's going to be having another movie. Black Panther just destroyed the box office, so he's 100% getting another movie as well. We already know that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is in the works, and I don't think you can do it without Star-Lord. Everybody loves Groot and Rocket seem like they're kind of a pair, so you gotta have both of them. And I think they kind of want to solidify that romance between Star-Lord and Gamora, so I think all of them are going to live. Then you got Bucky, who is more than likely going to be the new Captain America going forward, so that's why I think he is going to live in this movie. And then Doctor Strange has only had one movie, and I think he'll be a part of the new Avengers going forward. He's basically, I think, going to take place of Tony Stark in this series, but, you know, we'll wait and see on that. And then there's Ant-Man, who is getting another movie after this Infinity War movie, which I'm not too sure if that takes place before or after Infinity War, but I also think that, you know, there's no way that he wouldn't get a third movie if the other one does, if this new second sequel gets does really well in the box office. So I don't see him dying either. I wanted to add the lovely Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow into this list because apparently she's getting her own solo movie, but there's no guarantee that that solo movie wouldn't be a prequel. We know we're getting a prequel-ish origin story movie for Captain Marvel because it's going to be set in the 90s, way before Infinity War. So I'm kind of thinking they could do the same thing with Black Widow's character if they want to give us her origin story or just some kind of crazy spy story from back in the day. I definitely think that's something that they could do. So they could kill her in Infinity War, but still give her a prequel movie. So I don't know. We'll see what happens there. But I don't feel comfortable enough to not say that she is going to live for sure on this list. Now, apparently a lot of people are supposed to die in this movie. Personally, I hope it's something like just ridiculous, where like all of them are ready to fight Thanos, and then he's just like boom, and just kills like half of them, and they just drop, and I'd be like, oh, what? That would be super nuts. I don't think that's going to happen. They're probably going to all have super dramatic deaths one by one, something like that. But the people that I think are going to get the axe are these individuals right here. Vision seems obvious since he has a stone in his head. It's going to get ripped from there. He's more than likely going to die that way. I think Loki is finally going to get the axe. He's probably going to go out in some heroic way because, you know, he's kind of always been that balance of good and evil, and I think he's just going to go out being a hero. I think we're also going to get Scarlet Witch. I think she's going to get the axe, especially if Doctor Strange lives, because then they'll have this one magic user that's super OP. They won't really need Scarlet Witch, so I think she's going to die as well. I definitely think Nebula is going to die, although I love me some Karen Gillan, but I do think she's going to get the axe. She's always had this hatred for Thanos. I think she's going to try to fight him on her own, and she's going to end up dying. I could also see the same thing happening with Drax. We know Drax also has this hatred for Thanos, so he's probably going to try to fight him on his own too. Maybe they fight together and they die together, something like that. But I could easily see Thanos killing Nebula and Drax. Now I'm going to name both of these people because I do think they both could die. Although I want to say at least one dies for sure, but I'm going to say War Machine and Falcon. I think somehow both of those characters will die. There's not really going to be more Iron Man movies, and I feel like they're kind of underutilized in a lot of these movies. They're just there to be there, and I think they, you know, you can have them go out with the bang somehow in these other movies. I just don't really see them doing anything. They're not going to get their own spin-off movies, so I think they are also going to die in this movie. Now on to the big deaths, and I think we can all agree that Captain America is gonna die here. I think he's gonna go out in like the most heroic way possible, and he is going to be like, I don't want to say the first, but I think he is going to be one of the big characters that dies in this movie. Chris Evans has came out and said that he's done with these movies. He wants to move on to different things, you know, like he's tired of working out all the time. So I think he is definitely done in this movie. But I also think it's just more symbolic for Captain America to be the one that dies in this movie. And I think that's what's going to happen. And like I said, they got Bucky waiting in the wings to be the next Captain America. So I think that is definitely what's going to happen. Cap's going to get the axe. But I also think that the Hulk is also going to die in this movie to showcase how powerful Thanos really is. You have the Hulk, this big, crazy dude that can kick anybody's ass, and I think Thanos is going to put him in the ground, just solidifying how powerful Thanos is in this movie. Lastly, I don't want to put 100% on this, but I also think that Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, is going to die in this movie as well. Although I could see him going on to the next one and then calling it quits. Like, that's something that I think could happen with Downey Jr. because he's such a mega star. People love him. I could easily see Disney be like, I know they don't want to pay him anymore because he's like $20 million a film. They could be like, you know what, we're not going to kill you just in case we need to spark up another film, but we're just going to have you walk off in the sunset. And I kind of think that that is something that could happen, although it wouldn't surprise me if Tony Stark tries to save a bunch of people and ends up killing himself in the process. So that is very possible, but I think we actually lose Iron Man and Captain America in this movie, which would be insane on top of all of the other characters out there. And that's pretty much it. I know there's some characters that I didn't say if they should die or not die, just because I don't know. I feel like they could if they wanted to. They can kind of throw them out there like Mantis or Hawkeye or something like that. We haven't seen anything from Hawkeye. We haven't seen anything from Ant-Man either, but I just assume Ant-Man is going to live because he has more movies. Hawkeye, I don't really know what they're going to do with him. I mean, you would think he's going to die for sure, but we haven't even seen him. Like, is he going to come in and try to be super heroic? Is he even still Hawkeye? Because, like, you know, last time he just retired and he was like, one more time. Like, is the dude not even fighting anymore? We don't know. We'll see what happens with his character. But, I don't know. I think he could easily die, and I think he's going to die pretty soon. Or just, like maybe like Tony, right off into the sunset and be like, nah, I'm done with that, guys. Sorry. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think this movie, man, if this movie does kill a lot of these characters that I just named, I'll totally be down with it. A lot of you guys know, if you've seen my reviews of the MCU movies in a long time, I always said that not killing characters has always kind of like annoyed me, because I always just feel like, all right, these guys are always going to be safe. Like, they're always going to be safe. Like, nothing surprised me. I know that we saw, you know, Quicksilver die, and we saw Yondu die, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Guardians 2, but, you know, those are the only two major deaths in those movies, but they still weren't the mainstream characters. Like, you could have probably, I honestly 100 believes you should have killed somebody in Civil War. Just having War Machine get, like, partially paralyzed was kind of annoying. Like, you could have killed his character. He hasn't done anything else. So I think there should have been a death in Civil War. There wasn't. So that's kind of annoyed me, but I guess they're saving everybody to die in this movie, so we'll see what happens. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do. If for some reason no big character dies and it's just a bunch of side characters, that would ultimately piss me off, because it's like, dude, you gotta kill some of these big people. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. Let me know who you think is going to die in this movie in the comment sections down below. Let me know when you're gonna watch it and all of that good stuff. As always, guys, I'm your host, JUICEbox. Remember, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself something. Have I had my daily dose of juice? See you guys next time. Bye!